Okay, that's good. Right, now I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. So we just have a little bit background explanation before we get into the practice. So the Qigong is a Asian Chinese practice. Yeah, I say practice because it's part of the traditional Chinese medicines branch. So when you go to a traditional Chinese doctor, they give you maybe some body work, some treatment, and herbal medicine, and then you come home not just with a prescription. They perhaps will also give you a couple qigong exercise. Then you can regulate the qi to achieve the balance. So the 6 healing psalms, and I run it during the New Zealand Chinese Language Week because each sound has a healing effect and is I should not say Chinese sounds, but it's actually quite individual, but also universal. Later on, we will realize our human body just naturally make this sound, and it could be quite healing. And it has been used in the Chinese traditional medicines practice for thousands of years, and very easy. Right, let's start the session with the opening kalakia. Faktaka te ho ki te uru, faktaka te ho ki te tonga, kia ma kina kina ki uta, kia ma taratara ki tai, e ki ake ana te atakura, he tio, he huka, he hohu, ti hei moliora. Right, so there's a background. The earliest history can trace back to 220 BC. And Qi, it means the light force, similar to Maori's concept of Moli in Wairua, and in yoga they call it like prana. It's air, but it's more than the air. It's a light force. So all the traditional Chinese exercise, including qigong, the biggest difference is with the modern exercise is the anatomy is on the meridian side. It's more like energetic anatomy instead of look at which muscles, which bones. We look at the meridians. And Gong means practice. So when you spend time and practice this exercise, that working with the light force, and we naturally increase our vitality. Right, so now we get into the first healing sound. So today we're going to learn the Chinese sound, the 6 movement together with that. And we're familiar with the sound, and then we will do the movement and combine these two together. All right, the first one is called shh. So if you push both lips towards the front, then it's like ask people to be quiet. Right, we do it all together. We breathe in silently, then focus on breathe out. We do 6 times together. So you can see it's a natural, like the human body's vocal sound. And the target meridian is liver, especially in the springtime. So liver meridian store a lot of our emotions. And the element is wood. If you think about in the springtime, everything grows. In the Chinese feng shui, and we say the first step before you decorate and make it any change of the house layout, change any feng shui, the first step is to clean the house. So the that the target liver meridian has similar function. It's first clear up any toxins, any blockage in the body. Yeah, and then we can working on other meridians and then to achieve the chi balance, right? So that's the first sound. The beauty of the healing sound is you can just do the sound itself without the movement, and it focus your mind and it's direct the energy, the chi, into the particular meridian. So if you feel like, for example, you have eyesight issues and a lot of tension around your eyes, this the eyes that meridian is associated with the liver. So the liver will be quite helpful, help you to release your emotion and clear up your stress and the tension along your eyes and give you clear eyesight. And I will send out this document after the workshop to your email box. So just have a brief look and you don't have to remember everything. It's a one-day workshop. So today we have only 1 hour. We just briefly touched some of the health benefit. Okay. And we now, before we get into the second one, we now just learn the first movement. Then we move along. Let me just get back to the main screen. Okay, so now if you are in front of, yeah, you can sit on a chair. Oh, actually, I'm pregnant, so I'm a bit big, but yeah, you can either do it in a chair or you can stand up if you like. I put the screen and make sure you can see me. Right. So if you are standing, you open your feet like shoulders wide, just like you're sitting on the edge of the high chairs. And then your hands on the side of your waist. Right. So there's a 2 acupoint here, and you pull your shoulders backwards. So your hands right by the side of your ribs. Okay. When you are ready. And if you are sitting on the chairs, in the chair, that's fine as well. Just bring your hands to the waist. And okay, and now when you're ready, the movement, we do the movement first, and then we combine the breath together. So one hand go across your chest from your chest level, okay, and then reach towards the side, and your hands facing upwards. Yeah, so my shoulders here, your hands will be on the shoulders height. And then when you return, inhale and back to the center. Right. And then reach toward the other side when you exhale. So one hand reach out and the other hand draw backwards. Right. So these are twisting and return back to the center. We do several times together. When you return both hands by the side of your waist, pull it backwards. It's not in the front, on the side of your ribs. Right. And again, reach out, back, reach out, And maintain the up body upright if you could. So there's a rotation on your spine. Okay, so exhale. Remember the other hand, draw backwards. Draw your elbows in the other hand backwards. Okay, so you should feel some stretch along your shoulders. We do 2 more rounds. Exhale. And back. Exhale. Twist. And back. Right. One more time. Exhale. And gaze at the fingertips. Return back to the center. Exhale. And now return. Okay, now we're going to combine the Xu, the healing sound together. So when you breathe in, then you don't have to make any sound. But when you breathe out, we're going to use the Xu, the sound, and with your exhalation. And then we do the movement together. Right, and now you take a deep breath in. And then and reach out. Right, and then breathe in, silent. Yeah. Draw the shoulders blade backwards and then return back to the center. And again. Return. Breathe in. Back to the center. Carry on. Breathe in. The last round. Right. Okay. Relax out of the pose. So that's the first healing sound. And you can also just do it in the chair. And the common mistake is we kind of only do one hand. And remember, the other hand is also draw backwards. So you're twisting, you think about your spine in the middle, right? So your whole body is twisting backwards. Your arm is on the shoulders height, not up, not down. Yeah, and hands facing upwards. Right. Okay, and now have a sit down and we're going to look at the second healing sound. And I share my screen again. Right, so the second healing sound associated with summer and our heart meridian. Our heart also stored a lot of our emotions. If you do not sleep well, or you feel a little bit depressed, or sometimes a bit agitated, whole heart. So this one is really good to top up your heart chi, or you care a lot for others. Don't have enough time or space for your self-care, and this one will be really great. So the sound is like if vocal will be like that. It's also happen when we breathe out. Yeah. We quickly go through that. So the Her sound goes through the central channel or heart meridian. Right. We can quickly now do the movement, and while you can still practicing the okay. Right. So the movement, the hands going to be like facing down, hands back to back from your heart center. Right. And then you can see me. So from the front of your knees, so you kind of like draw a circle, draw the circle, and then you bring your hands facing up. Yeah, just like cupping the water. And then hands goes up, and then bend your elbows or hands facing towards yourself. That's also symbolize self-compassion. And then right in front of your heart center, bring the hands back to back, fingers pointing downwards, and then let it drop. And slightly drop your stance if you are standing. And then you draw the circle in front of your knees. Again, like cupping the water. That's usually we say the kidneys water come up to your heart, and then hands back to back, and direct the fires down to meet the water. All right, we do feel more round together. Up and down. Nice. Yeah, just turn my camera down a bit so you can see my hands. Okay, again. Inhale. When the movement go upward, your hands also go upwards. And then fingers pointing down. Exhale. Again. Inhale. And exhale. All right, similar principle. So when we inhale, there's silent movement. And then when we exhale, that's when your movement also goes down, and we say, yeah. And use the healing sound to replace your exhalation. Inhale. So you can do it silently, internally, or vocalize it. Feel the differences. They have slightly different health benefit. Right, 2 more rounds. Right, so that's the second healing sound. Yeah, can I just mute you, Susan, or can you mute yourself?
Sorry?
Can you just mute yourself?
Oh, right.
Oh, I can mute you. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Okay. And now we look at the third one. Just going to share my screen again. So the third one is targeted our stomach and spleen meridian. So it's actually a proper Chinese word for breathing. So breathing in Chinese has two parts, breathe in and breathe out. But we put breathe out first before you breathe in. It's very Taoism, and in Taoism we say if you want to give, or you want to get something, you have to give first. So in order to breathe in, we have to breathe out and make the space. So this who that means breathe out, and it's quite fun. And you can try. You cannot breathe in and make the sound. You have to just breathe out, so you can make it. Yeah. Do feel round. And if you do it in a silent way, it will be like. So you think about in the old time, I think English people had some similar habit. You make a hot cup of tea, and then you do not top up the cold water. You simply kind of blow it when you drink it if there's too hot, and then it's human nature. You will blow out the airs like before you eat. And same as like Chinese porridge or a lot of Chinese food, when we heat it and or be properly cooked, it has the right amount of fire or heat energy in it. Then you just leave it naturally, cool it down instead of add cold water in it. In the old time, it looks like take time, but it's actually quite good for our human bodies. We naturally make this kind of healing sound, just blowing out the air. And you might notice when people are stressed, and sometimes we'll say, phew, and kind of release, because our stomach also store our stress. So when your body try to let go of the stress, it's the body's natural sound. Right. So we do feel round of the sound, and then we'll learn the movement. It's target our stomach meridian, and any time is a good time. So the stomach element is the earth, the phenua. Anything will need the earth. So all the year around, and you can practice this sound. And now let's do the movement. So yeah, if you look at me, then your hands will be right in front of your stomach here. Okay. And slightly drop your stance. That's always our foundation in Qigong and Tai Chi, like sitting on the high chairs. Soften the knees and hip joints. And now hands in front of your tummy. Relax your fingers so the chi can reach all the way to the fingertips. It's like you are hugging a tree or holding a small energy ball, right? And now as you slowly standing tall and we push both arms to the front, imagine like the space between your hands and your stomach, like an energy ball. Now the ball is getting bigger. And you exhale, slightly lower your stance and bring the hand towards your tummy. It's very easy. Imagine the balloon now getting smaller. As you inhale into the space between your hands in your tummy. Then exhale. And inhale. Then exhale. So when we exhale, our intention is not breathe out. Our intention is that you breathe in into your tummy. So you can also imagine your tummy is now breathing. Breathe in. That's when you actually exhale. You bring the chi from your hands into your core, your stomach. Right. And now combine the sound. So when you inhale, silent movement. And exhale, you say the sound. You can also do it loud. Then you'll be like, Then maintain the same mouth shape. If you want to make it silently and feel it different. Right, 2 more rounds. All right, and then we relax and come out of the pose. So there's the third healing sound. Who target our spleen meridian and stomach meridian. They are one pair in charge of our digestion. Right, and now let's move on to the next one, the fourth one. We already go through the spring and the summer, and the anytime is a good time. The third one, who, 12 main meridians and 6 pairs. So these 6 healing sound and just target the 6 pairs meridian. Okay, so the fourth one is now the deep autumn. So you can see the color, like everything turning like a gold and metal. So the element is metal, or some people call it gold. You can just think about in nature, it's very easy to remember. And when the air is clear, the autumn time is a perfect time to charge our lung meridians qi. So the lung in all the organs, they are regarded like the general. They are on the highest position. All the other organs are lower than it. We have 2 lungs. On it, we stop breathing. We basically die. So the lung is quite significant. Usually is it store the grief. So if you want to let it go and want to live in here and now and practice your mindfulness, and especially for some people who might have trauma or grief, and practice this sound is quite helpful to let go of anything that has been holding on you. And in Maori traditional medicine, it's very similar. We have those kalakia honoring the tapalimali, the god in charge of the air and the wind, to ask it to clear up, purifying you. So the sound, oh, sorry, go too quick. So the sound is like, it's similar to the cobra's breathing. Think about the cobra, the snake. So you squeeze the air through the gap of your teeth and open your mouth. So like smiling. So your mouth will be widespread to the end. And yeah, we do feel round. All right, the last time. So when you go for a walk or you feel like have nothing to do, you can practice this healing sound and simply with your breathing, not necessarily with the movement, but like I myself, when I want to slow down my breath, I use this one and I find it has quite good calming effect. And yeah, so there are some like health benefit, processing grief and sadness, and strengthen the immunity system. Especially recently, I had few students got COVID, cannot come to the class. So you can practice this one as much as you like. It's very easy. Right. So now we going to practice the movement. Let me get back. Okay. So with the si, find your lung, right? And then bring your hands just by the side of your lung, like holding a ball, but passively soften your hands and wrist. Okay, so now this movement, if you just look and do not listen to the instruction, you perhaps will do it wrong. But think about the target meridian is your lung. So now you're going to take a deep breath in and then use your lung, not using your hands, but squeeze the back of your scapula. So when you breathe in, think about like your lung, like a balloon, and breathe in and then spread the scapula. Your hands will be folded apart. So it's not a hands movement, it's your lung and chest movement. Use your chest muscle and your lung. Okay, and then so when you exhale, imagine your hands attached to the balloon and then slowly they come back to your heart center. Okay, and we do that a few rounds just to practice how you use your lung to initiate the movement. Open and exhale, hands fall back to your heart center. And again. Inhale, exhale. Get focus on the lung. Well done. Use the lung to do the movement. And hands follow. Right. So this part has 4 movement. This routine. So there's first and 2. And now you're going to do the third part. Is that you're going to push towards the front. Yeah. And there's a little tip, if you can see. So my fingers, your index fingers will be slightly higher than the other finger, than the rest of the fingers, because the lung meridian running through our the thumb in the index fingers here. So you lift the middle, the index finger slightly up, and then so the chi, the lungs chi, can flowing through your lung, along your hand, and through the lung meridian. Right, so just slightly lift your index finger a bit on top of other fingers when you push. Okay, and now let's do the 4 movement. So 1 is to spreading out, 2, exhale back to the heart center, 3, and push towards the front, and 4, return to the heart center. Also bring some gentle movement into your knees. So inhale, stand tall, return and ground yourself, lower your stance, 3, and push towards the front, and 4, back to the heart center. And again, inhale, exhale, push, and back. And again, inhale, exhale, push, and back. Right, now we're going to add the healing sound minute. So on this one, we're going to say this as you push to the front. Yeah, and then return. So the breath pattern, actually, you will do a quick breath in as you're going to push. So the first 2 parts, we focus on breathe in, breathe out, and you take a deep, quick breath, and then push and say, yeah, strengthening lungs, chi, and exhale. And again, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, right, we do 3 more rounds. Open up the lung, return to the center. Okay. Open, return, Two more round. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Right, we got two more, so we go straight into it. We have only 15 minutes each left. So the next one is especially good for the winter. That's our kidney. Kidney's element is water, and in the winter time is the ideal time to nourish the root, like Mother Earth also shift the energy into the earth. So you think about the water is the life of all, is the source of all life. And then we have two kidneys. That's where Chinese traditional medicine also regarded the like a reserve for our essential life force right at the back. Right, especially for our female, our frenulum, our tummy and kidney here is quite important. So this one is the most complicated one. It has three sounds, but it means like blowing out in Chinese. So the sound is like choi, and it has three parts. First, you make the sounds like cheese. If you can say cheese, so the so that's the first part. And then the second part is ooh. Yeah, so your mouth just put to the front. Ooh. Right, and then the last part is E. So spreading your mouth like big smile. E. Right, now we're going to bring these three parts together. So choi. Yeah, so ch, u, and E together. Choi. Yeah, it take a little bit practice. If that's your first time, don't feel like frustrated. Yeah, and just take time to build up the muscle memory as well. So movement, we start with our core, our dantian, right from the core. I mean, there is a meridian here we call like belt meridian. So if you wear a pants, or usually, and if you think about a belt, it's here, right? So from your front, you're going to put your hands right from your belly button, and then rub along your belt meridian, just along the belt. Then all the way, so to the back, where around your kidneys is, and then hands goes down, and then to the front. So there's a movement. And then end up with like holding a ball. Okay, and then bring the hand towards to you from your belly button, rub towards the side, and then to the lower back where your kidneys are, goes down, and then to the front. Even just do the movement is very good self-massage to nourishing the qi at your kidney. You do the few round, goes down and to the front. And then bring the qi inside your core, along your belt meridian, open to your lower back, then to the front. Two more rounds. Rub to the lower back, to the side of the hips, to the front, your navel, belt meridian, and to the front. Okay, and now we're going to compile the healing sound. So when you breathe in, that's when you rub all the way. And then when you start to guide the energy downward, and then that's when you start to breathe out as well. So when your hands start to like push down into the front, that's when you breathe out. Right. So practice the breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe in. Then when your hands start to go downwards, and breathe out. Okay, and now we're going to replace the breathing out part, the exhalation, with the healing sound. So breathe in silently, then choi. Right. So breathe in, and then start with the sound chui. Straight path starts like similar to cheese, chi, and then u and e. Chui. Hands to the front. Right, we do 3 times. Chui. Chui. Right. Okay. And have a wee break, and now I'm going to share my screen again. We look at this and do the last one. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so the one we just did, there's the most complex healing sound, but it's also very powerful. Yeah, so it's related to kidney, especially good in the winter time. That's right now. And for people who did Qigong, usually they want to practice Qigong for vitality, and that is an excellent one. And also, yeah, if you want to improve your teeth health, and Chinese traditional medicine doesn't look at like how denture works. Dentist, they actually, your teeth are related to your kidney. If you have strong kidney tree, it's very likely your teeth are good as well. So 3 parts. So first is like cheese, the right, this part, and then like ooh, similar like who, and the last part like z, like this. And don't worry about this, and I will be sending this to you. So now we come into the last one. Previously, we mentioned the words breath in Chinese has 2 parts. The first part is breathe out, and the second part is breathe in. So this one, the sound is xi. So they literally in Chinese, that means like breathe in. So hu xi, that means breath. So we said one hu xi, that means one breath. That has 2 parts, breathe out, then breathe in. The good thing with she, you can actually make the sound even when you breathe out. You can say she. You can also breathe in when you make the sound she. Yeah, but when your body relax, it's more naturally when you say she, your body actually take in the air instead of breathe out. So it's similar to the words like when you see something. Yeah, again, we can make it vocal. You can say she, but you can also do it in a silent way, and however maintain the same mouth shape. So we already go through the 4 seasons, the 4 healing sound. Apart from the the stomach and the spleens healing sound associated with all season, and this one is also very similar. So this one, it associated with our triple heater meridian. There's the only meridian which has a function but doesn't have an organ they associate with. However, the function is to regulate our body's temperature. So if you feel like your hands are cold or sometimes too hot, too cold, like for people, ladies going through menopause, this one is very good. Or some people might feel like you got really heavy head and then your feet not on the ground, which reflect on the body temperature and your own body sensation. That's perhaps that associated with your triple heater meridian. We also call it like 3 diamond center meridian, which associate with upper body, central body, and lower body. And it's a really easy movement, but also one of my favorite. And we're going to do the movement together. And there's so this is the summary of the 6 healing sound. Right, we get on with it, and then let's practice the last healing sound together. Okay, so you can also sit in a chair or stand. If you stand, just slightly lower your stance like you are sitting on a high chairs. Okay. And so on your hands, again, hands back to back. Yeah, in front of your tummy. Right. And the movement is very easy. So as you stand tall, lift your palms across the central channel and look up and open up. And then exhale and return. So your fingers pointing downward, direct the chi downward. And then look up and open. There's been the yang active energies is evoked. And then grounding. Exhale. And then inhale. Then exhale. Okay, so we are going to replace the exhaling, the breathe out part with the sound she. So now that's silent. And then when you exhale, you say she. Then inhale, silent movement. She. She. And now you can maintain the same mouth shape, but do it in a silent way and feel the difference. Okay, 2 more rounds. Okay, so that's all the 6 healing sound for today. Yeah, it's quite a little bit intense, but just got 1 hour's time. But I will send out the handout that we share in the class, so you can have some reference. Oh, thank you, Fiona. Yeah, and my baby is arriving maybe in 1 week or 2, so that might be my last workshop. I might have a little bit puffy as well, but good for the babies. And thank you for participation. And yeah, there are almost 20 people signed up, but only you feel